Hello, everyone, and welcome back to PS You Need a Vacation. My name is Greg Schroeder, travel agent with PS Family Vacations, and also joining me this week is something a little different. I'd like to welcome a hopefully future PS Family Vacations travel agent and fellow Disney superfan, Logan Perry. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good, Greg. Been a pretty good week.
It's always a good week when you can throw a visit into Walt Disney World in there, so that's great. Look forward to talking to you about that some more. So yeah, this week's agenda, as you normal listeners know, we typically highlight a PS Family Vacations travel agent. However, again, this week we're doing something a little bit different. We've invited a future travel agent who is Logan Perry, who just happens to be our travel agency owner's son. Definitely appreciate you being here today. And then next, we're going to be talking about all the new and exciting things coming to the Disney parks in 2025. Again, I hope all the listeners had a great new year. We thought this would be as good a time as any, of course, to really dive into talk about all the new things coming to Walt Disney World in 2025 and, talk about the favorites that we have and the ones we're looking forward to the most. And then we're going to wrap up everything with a really strong list of 2025 promos that Disney has already announced for Walt Disney World in 2025, including they brought back an opportunity for resort guests with ticket packages to have a free dining plan added to their vacation. So that's one you definitely don't want to miss the details for. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right. Now, before we do get started, I wanted to share PS You Need a Vacation podcast is brought to you by all the incredible agents with PS Family Vacations, the dreamers of your next stress-free vacation. If you'd like to support our content and either not sure where to start your own vacation planning or just don't have the time, please consider benefiting from the enthusiasm and experience from all of the incredible PS Family Vacations travel agents. So to start your theme park, cruise, all-inclusive resort, or European adventure today, please visit psfamilyvacations.com. Now, again, one of the biggest primary purposes of this podcast is typically to keep our clients informed of what we feel they'd want to know and about making the next out of their next vacation. Normally, we'd be introducing all the wonderful travel agents that we have with PS Family Vacations and featuring their individual strengths. However, again, this week, we're doing something a little bit different. Someone else actually raised their hand and wanted to join the podcast, and that is our travel agency's owner's son, Logan Perry. Definitely, again, excited to have you here.
Thanks so much, Greg. It's great to be here.
As you know, we're here to just have fun, talk about everything new and exciting coming to Walt Disney World in 2025. But before that, just wanted to ask, I know you just got back from Walt Disney World. I saw you on New Year's Eve. It was great bumping into you and your family to watch the New Year's Eve fireworks from the Contemporary. So yeah, just wanted to reach out and ask, was there anything new or unexpected, or how was your visit? Anything you want to share?
For sure. During my trip there, I enjoyed just a park day with me and my cousin. We went to all of our parks. My cousin actually happens to be the son of second PS Family Vacations owner, Christy Smith, who is also my aunt. This day was included of a lot of fun, even throughout very large crowds in the park. Each and every ride there had a 50-minute wait or longer. Crazy crowds. The rides we got to ride, first we got to ride Everest and Animal Kingdom. We started our day there. We busted over to Epcot to ride Three Caballeros. We monorailed over to Magic Kingdom after that to ride Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. And to get a quick pickup from the Skyliner, we next monorailed over to Epcot to walk down the left side of World Showcase. We did that so that we could stop by a little caramel shop in Germany, sponsored by Werther's, actually.
Love that shop.
Oh, yeah. So awesome. We got our favorite seasonal treat of the Werther's original caramel cookie sandwich.
Mine too. We were talking about that. Can't wait till they have it again too.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite for sure treats. I mean, all over the resort. We slid out of there on the Skyliner to ride the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and then to round out our day, we took a bus back to Magic Kingdom to stay out until the last park closed, and that park being Magic Kingdom, and it was open until 11.
Wow, long day for you guys.
Yes, sir. It was a great day, but I mean, it was definitely a very, very long day.
Mm-hmm.
When we got back there, we waited about 50 minutes for Space Mountain, which, I mean, wasn't really too bad for Space Mountain, but, I mean, we ended up getting it out there with about 30-minute wait.
That's not bad, no.
For sure, I mean, it's not bad compared typically to how it is.
Mm-hmm. On that close to New Year's Eve, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got out there and rode People Mover as our last ride of the night, which was a great way to end the night. I love People Mover, one of my favorite rides, as well as with my cousin.
Mine too. Love that one as well.
And I mean, I believe the stay for us was really just a testament to Walt Disney's vision of having a park for all ages. And that was just so awesome. I mean, I've gone around Disney World, just me out there. But I mean, it was really awesome to see firsthand my cousin enjoying it with me and just out there really seeing that his vision got put into the parks of it being up for all ages.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it wasn't just anything. It was just we were out there and we had an incredible time just walking around the parks, even with crazy crowds. And I mean, that's definitely the reason why I love Disney and why I feel that Walt Disney really accomplished his original vision of what he wanted Walt Disney World to be.
Yep, absolutely. Wow, it's you definitely crammed in a lot of activities, a lot of fun activities into one day. Geez, I can tell that you're very experienced at this. That's awesome. Now, next, before we get into, again, we wanted to go into the list of new experiences coming to Walt Disney World in 2025. But before we do that, we wanted to do kind of a quick recap, kind of in case you missed it, kind of list of things that came in 2024. Not only attractions, but maybe some really exciting changes that came in 2024 to Walt Disney World. So yeah, starting off kind of in no particular order, some of the really exciting things and changes that happened. First, we did see the end of Park Pass reservations, at least for date-based tickets. I'm sure a lot of you who went to the parks in recent years had to go through making those park reservations, and it's very nice that at least for park-based date-based tickets, you no longer have to do that. And also, we did see the end of the 2:00 in the afternoon park hopping rule. You can now park hop anytime during the day. Another exciting change that happened this year was the Genie Plus service was retired and replaced with the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Single Pass. I'm sure a lot of you are very happy about that. In a lot of ways, they were very similar, but two big ways they were. The Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Single Pass was a great enhancement. Number one, just the naming convention of no longer using Genie Plus for a group of attractions and then individual Lightning Lanes for the single more popular attractions. Now it's all under one name of Lightning Lane. Either it's Multi-Pass or Single Pass. And the other great benefit I love about Multi-Pass is now we're again able to book those Lightning Lanes several days before your visit, and even longer before your visit if you're a resort guest. So I was very excited to have that come back. And moving on to the attractions that we got in 2024 that we're very excited about, we may talk about a bit in this podcast, is we got Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and we also got Country Bear Musical Jamboree, which I think both of those were good upgrades. There were ones I had to see to understand, and in the end, I'm very happy with both of them. I definitely am. There are updates that they kept the original spirit of both of those attractions, and but yet made them a lot more updated for today's audience. What did you think, Logan? Do you agree?
Yeah, Greg, I definitely agree that those were some really good upgrades. I mean, it was really, really, really hard to see Splash Mountain go. It was like one of my favorite, and I mean, I feel like so many people's favorites, but I mean, it's
agreed.
And I feel like another thing I was kind of sad to see go, the other one, which is Country Bear Jamboree, that one was hard to see to go to just in its original form.
Mm-hmm.
It was gone. But I mean, with its own IP, I feel like it's so much better than just being a different experience with it.
I think these are both examples of ones where we kind of need to just take a step back and trust that Disney is going to do the right thing. They're going to respect the integrity of the attraction that they're overhauling. And time again, I think they've done really great jobs at that. And the next one is no different. The Epcot transformation in 2024 finished up. So we saw the finalization of the new neighborhoods, World Discovery, World Celebration, World Nature, join the existing World Showcase neighborhoods of Epcot. Once we kind of shifted our mindset away from that front half of the park being Future World, I think the new neighborhoods that are created just give Disney a lot more opportunity to expand on, the edutainment aspect of what Epcot was meant to be still. But yet they're doing it in a certain way that they're able to, I think, maintain much, much better in the years to come. And then the next one that we did get in 2024, actually right to the end of 2024, is the opening of the Island Tower at the Polynesian Village Resort. This is another one where I think we really just needed to take a step back and really trust that Disney was going to do the right thing. There were, of course, a lot of criticism that they were putting up a concrete walled building and not really sure if that was going to live up to the Polynesian Village, the resort that all of us love, one of the opening day resorts. However, what they did in that building, for those of you that haven't seen it, it's extremely impressive. You go inside that lobby, and it might not be all about color. There's little pops of color here and there, but it's really about texture and just the animals that you see. There's texture on every single surface that stands still in that lobby, showing waves and the light fixture up at the top kind of reflects some shells and pictures of the grandmother from Moana, the stingray. That just puts so much thought and care into rebuilding into that building. That again, I don't think people gave Disney enough credit, knowing that they were going to execute it correctly. So I was definitely very impressed with that. And even on the outside, there's the tattooing that they did on the side of the building. So yeah, they put a lot of thought into it, and didn't just phone it in. That's for sure. And anybody that goes there to see it, I think most of you will agree. And then the other great thing that we did get, in addition, connected to that building, was a new dining and lounge experience, the Wailulu Bar and Grill. In a lot of ways, I think this dining experience or this lounge experience is what the Polynesian Village was missing. Trader Sam's, we all know and love. You go in there, and the theming is just tip top. The best Disney has probably ever done. So some people might say. But the one thing that it's missing is kind of the tropical ocean, breezes. And that's what you get out of this Wailulu Bar and Grill when you're eating outside. It overlooks Seven Seas Lagoon. So, yeah, you're in the evening, you're listening to the tropical music, and you've got the breezes coming in off of Seven Seas Lagoon. And in a lot of ways, more so than the ceremonial house, because of those breezes and things like that, it really transports you over to Hawaii. It kind of made me feel like I did when I was at Alani out in Hawaii, just because of it being right there on the water and feeling the breezes come in. So the food was really great. I was impressed with that. The drinks, the poke bowl. So yeah, it's definitely another great addition that they gave us. So Logan, what from that 2024 list were you most excited about?
I mean, I feel like I was most definitely excited for Tiana's Bayou adventure being done. When I saw that, I was just astounded by how they did it. And I saw a lot of social media things like before I went and stuff like that of it. People saying it's not that good and a lot of mixed reviews of it. But I saw it personally and I thought it was incredible. And I think what they really just kept the Disney magic in the ride from Splash Mountain, which I feel like was one of the biggest things that Splash Mountain had was the magic, just I just feel like they kept it, which is I feel like a lot of people said it didn't, but in my personal opinion, I thought it was great.
I definitely think it did too. Yeah, like I was talking to you before, they kind of just they transformed the original attraction, kept the feeling of it, but made it for a more modern audience instead of the old critters, or instead of the old animals that they had with Briar Rabbit and Briar Fox. Now they got the critters that have their own little names, which are cute, and the ending scene is a celebration, just like Splash Mountain used to be. I like how they made it kind of interactive with the song at the end of the attraction, where through the attraction they're looking for some special ingredient for their party, and then at the end you realize, or you learn, that the special spice is you that is coming to the party that makes it special. So yeah, no, I think they did a really great job to make that very personal for everybody and keep the magic in there. So I definitely agree.
Yes, of course. I definitely think the critters were like really cool. I liked how the animatronics actually. is where I
Mm-hmm.
think I will highlight here. I think just the animatronics were great. And I think that was definitely, they sunk a lot of money into those. But I mean, they looked great.
I
And
agree. Mm-hmm.
honestly, um, Louis, he looked great.
Yeah, he's fun. He's fun anyway, but yeah, they did him right. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like, I don't know, he kind of looked like fluffy, and he kind of looked like, I don't know, he looked like squishy. I don't know, it just like, it had a look to it that made it just look, it was so
Real.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah. Like he popped out of the cartoon, definitely. Yeah.
yeah. And another thing actually that I was most excited about to see personally done was Epcot with its walls down in the middle and its transformation just being done.
Thank you.
Uh, it just made it look so much better, and I just loved it so much. And also another thing with all of that was that it brought a new thing with it, or a couple new things actually. It brought in the Moana walkthrough, which I really really liked. Actually, I thought it was a good induction, and it's good for a hot day. Obviously, when I was there, it wasn't very hot. It was like 50s and 40s. It was cold,
Hmm.
but I still think it was really cool, and it's great for a or a hot day to just walk through there. And the Communicore Hall, that was, unfortunately, I didn't get to see it. I've seen videos and stuff of it, and it looked really cool now that's all done.
Hmm. No,
And
I agree. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Communicore Hall during the Festival of the Arts. It's got signs on in front of it right now that it's closed, pending a Broadway exhibit that they're putting in there. So I'm really looking forward to them using that Communicore Hall correctly, the way they used to use the Wonders of Life Pavilion as the festival center. So the last couple of festivals, I don't think they used it quite as much as I would hope they would. But this time, the fact that they're advertising a very specific exhibit in there, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they do in there.
yes, I did see actually that Broadway stuff,
Hmm.
and I kind of heard of what they talked about in bringing new things in that, and it looks really cool, and I hope they do it right, and I believe in typical Disney magic they do it right.
Hmm.
I think they're gonna do great here, and I just think it's gonna end up being good. Overall, I just think honestly 2024 was a great year for them. I don't think it was their best year. It didn't bring as many things as other years, but I think it was a great year, especially with also the Polynesian and Country Bear. There's just other things too that weren't highlighted from me that I feel like deserve some love and that they did great on. You're going to see so much more, and it's honestly just you walk out of where Mission Space is, and you see just trees, and you see open, and you can even look over and see Spaceship Earth, and you just see it with no walls in your way. It's so beautiful. And also, I feel like another good thing they did here was the Walt Disney statue, as I think it's really cool. They have a picture opportunity sitting next to him in front of Spaceship Earth.
No, absolutely. I'm a big fan of World Celebration. I think it's something that that park needed. Traditionally, it has been kind of a concrete jungle a little bit in that World Celebration area with all those trees that they brought in, but not all. But they did it in an Epcot way, in that they incorporated so many of those LED lights everywhere. I know some of them have had some trouble. However, over the last few weeks, I've heard they fixed all those. And I need to get back out and I want to take a look at that. I saw them all on the first night, December 5th of 2023. Yeah. When World Celebration opened. And yeah, all those ground lights, when they're synced up correctly with Spaceship Earth, it's an incredible sight. It really is. And it's just a really great place to kind of chill, people watch. There's places you can sit down, charge your phones. Just as excited as you are to see that whole area finish up without the walls. All right. Next, we want to move into a list of all kinds of exciting things coming to Walt Disney World in 2025. In no particular order, we're going to go one park at a time. First, the Magic Kingdom. I'm really excited about this first one. Disney Starlight, Dream the Night Away. It's a new nighttime parade coming to the Magic Kingdom, opening summer 2025 after nearly a decade of not having a light up parade at night at that park. The last one that they had was the Main Street Electrical Parade back in 2016. Did you ever see the Main Street Electrical Parade, Logan?
I did, and it was so awesome. And I mean, honestly, that soundtrack is something I listen to daily. Not
Yeah.
that soundtrack was just really, really good. Not really something I listen to daily, but it's still it was some great music
It's
they had out
memorable.
there.
It's
Yeah,
definitely memorable. Yeah.
it definitely brings back some memories just sitting down there and watching that.
hmm No, I love the Main Street Electrical Parade. I actually worked that back 24 years ago when I worked at the Magic Kingdom. I used to do
Really,
parade audience control for the Main Street Electrical Parade, so I've got a long connection to it. And then one time I know I saw it out in California, and just today I saw a video of Tokyo has a variation of it out there.
I have seen that down in
Yeah,
Disney Sea.
not at Disney City in the Disneyland Park. They have
I
the
don't know.
they have a
They have another show at Disney Sea, which is really, really cool.
in the lagoon. All their
Yeah,
shows are amazing, but just specifically, yeah, their Tokyo Main Street Electrical Parade took it a step further, paying homage to this one that's been at Walt Disney World for many years. But in any case, yeah, definitely looking forward to a new nighttime parade coming to the Magic Kingdom. I think it's something that's been missing. A lot of people have been kind of frustrated that the only way to get a nighttime parade at the Magic Kingdom is you have to purchase a special event ticket, like the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party or the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and that's the only way you get a nighttime parade. So I think it's great that they're bringing that back so that all guests get to experience that. And then next, another big one coming to the Magic Kingdom. A lot of these were released last August at D23. It was incredible being there in person, listening to Josh announce all these. But yeah, the first one is Villains Land. Opening is still to be determined on that one, but yeah, it's supposed to be a completely new, major themed land, all the way back behind Big Thunder Mountain, which we were just talking about. There's a crane back there now, starting to clear some of the grounds to make way for that new land. It's supposed to have new attractions, dining, shopping, meet and greets. So it's going to be a legit full scale new land coming. First one we've had for quite a while. So very excited about that. Disney hasn't confirmed what the major attractions are going to be, but from the concept art, you can definitely see that one looks to be a roller coaster. So hopefully they're not just going to have a couple of spinner rides. I don't think so. They're going to put a big roller coaster in this one and make it right. So, and then the other major land that they announced last year at D23 is a new Cars land. Again, opening still to be determined. They haven't given an announcement to that yet. This one has been very controversial, primarily just due to its location. I remember at D23, at the event, they did not announce the location, and I'm sure that was for a very specific strategic reason. The next morning, we got up and some YouTubers announced, or at least one specific one announced, that it was taking the place of the Rivers of America at Magic Kingdom. And I was very hesitant sharing that one, not knowing if that was accurate information. But pretty soon after that, yes, Disney did confirm that that is actually what's indeed happening. The Rivers of America is being filled in. We are losing Tom Sawyer Island. We're losing the Liberty Bell. A lot of mixed feelings on that one, but the reality is that's such prime real estate that Disney knew that they wanted to utilize and bring in a couple of attractions that will eat up more capacity for that park, which is so busy. So completely makes sense that that was an opportunity to fill in that area and provide some more value for our guests. And then in addition, they are still making more lands around the perimeter, for example, Villains. But yeah, so that's where Cars Land is going, right there in the middle of Frontierland. Again, it's going to have two major attractions. One will be a thrill ride featuring a rally race through the mountains or desert of Frontierland, somewhat like the Radiator Springs Racers attraction that's out in Disney's California Adventure right now. I'm really excited that they didn't just clone Radiator Springs. That's one of my favorite attractions out at Disney's California Adventure. So I still have a reason, number one, to go out there. But the fact that they're making something totally new over here is great, so that they have a reason to come over here as well and try something different. It's going to be a brand new technology of a trackless off-road dune buggy. Last, I think it was November at D23 Brazil, they announced that that's the vehicle that is going to be used. A few weeks before that, I shared a video on my PS Family Vacations Facebook page where it was rumored that that would be the vehicle, and then a few weeks later they confirmed it. So I was very excited about that. It just literally looks like a dune buggy vehicle, just like you might ride yourself. But it's a trackless vehicle. So it looks like it's going off road. It's probably going to go through water. Some of the concept art looked like. It's just a really exciting new vehicle that they've decided to implement here. So they're definitely taking everything we love about Radiator Springs Racers and plussing it up with this new trackless ride vehicle. So definitely very excited about that. And then to cater towards smaller riders and the whole family, there is going to be a second, much more laid back ride. No word yet on what that is, and the concept art didn't show too close, but might be something like Tow Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, something like that. A smaller ride. But so yeah, it's going to have two exciting rides there in Cars Land. Moving on down, another one coming to the Magic Kingdom in 2025, in late 2025, is a new Pirates Lounge. A cool thing about this is you might think a lounge being a bar. However, Disney's actually described this lounge as for pirates of all ages, being able to drop into this new well-themed location for Grogs and Grub, the tavern inspired by the popular Magic Kingdom ride, and promises an immersive dining experience centered around the high seas. So I think it's great that they've made this one for all ages. Moving on, there is another lounge being added to the Magic Kingdom in summer 25. This one specifically is for DVC members. So Logan, you're going to get to experience that one with your family. But this is in the location originally where the shooting arcade was. It's going to be called McKim's Mile House DVC Member Lodge. It's very Frontierland themed inside. It looks like very cabin themed. So looks really cool from the concept art. Hope to be invited in by a DVC member one day. And then finally, Big Thunder Mountain enhancements that are going on right now. A few weeks ago, Big Thunder Mountain has closed, and it is not planning to reopen until spring, sometime in 2026. That definitely implies that it's going to be a pretty intense enhancement. A lot of people had been talking about maybe retracking the whole thing. Just today, actually, January 12th, 2024, they've already started taking out pieces of the track. So it definitely leads to us believing that that's true. They're either redoing parts of the track or maybe the whole thing. So looking forward to that, potentially making it a much smoother ride. And of course, everybody is looking forward to the possibility of getting the dynamite scene added to the lift hill. So those are things that are more than likely going to happen, and we're hoping there might be some more animatronics added to the ride. But we'll have to see what other plus-ups they do to Big Thunder Mountain, again, reopening in spring 2026. All right, moving over to Epcot. Logan, did you want to take over and talk about the attractions coming to Epcot in 2025, please?
Sure, I got it up here. Here we go with Epcot. We have Test Track 3.0. That is something I'm very excited for. Disney says the new version will celebrate today's innovation while highlighting the past, present, and future, even with nostalgia from its origins as World of Motion. And this one will be reopening summer of 2025. I'm very excited to ride it. Can't wait. Hopefully the lines aren't super, super long.
They will be at first. But
oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll get on it soon enough.
After that one, we have Spaceship Earth Lounge coming up, which I am extremely excited for, as I think Spaceship Earth deserves its representation throughout the parks, and I'm glad it's getting its own lounge. And that one will be coming summer of 2025. And it will be perfect for families looking for a brief respite from the park's hustle and bustle. All right,
Yeah,
Greg, you want to take back over with Hollywood Studios?
sure. Yeah, definitely on that Spaceship Earth Lounge. I'm excited that that's also another one that's great for all ages. So again, when they call these lounges, don't think that they are adults only. So yeah, moving on to Hollywood Studios, one that's been closed for several years now, and we've been wondering kind of what's going on with it. The Little Mermaid is going to be reopening this summer as The Little Mermaid: A Musical Adventure. Um, Described as a spellbinding show that brings Ariel's story to the stage with all the beloved songs and characters. So, very interested to see what they do with this one. I think it also needed an update. It relied pretty heavily on lasers, and I think lasers are fun and they're neat if they're done right and creatively. But if you rely on them too heavily, it just kind of comes across kind of 1980s, 1990s. So definitely looking forward to the enhancements that they bring to the Little Mermaid show. Next, the one most people are excited about, and I am too, of course, is at Hollywood Studios, is the new Monsters Inc. land. Opening for this one is still to be determined because, as you know, there's a lot to do with this one. Unfortunately, recently they did confirm that this would replace the Muppet Courtyard in at Hollywood Studios. This is another one that at D23, when they announced Monsters Inc. Land and the new attractions coming, they did not share where it was going to be located. I think they wanted to keep to the positive press announcements at the time, but later on they did finally confirm, after a lot of speculation of places where it could go, that this is in fact going to be replacing the existing Muppet Courtyard, closing the existing and very popular Muppet Vision 3D. What are your thoughts on this one, Logan? Are you disappointed? You excited about losing Muppet Vision and gaining Monsters Inc.?
I'm excited and a little bit disappointed that Disney is basically just letting out Jim Henson's last project.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not that big of a Muppets fan, but I feel like a lot of Muppets fans, and not really that, just Jim Henson's fans will probably be not the happiest, or are not the happiest here,
Mm-hmm.
because it was his last thing, and he made a huge impact on that entire thing with Sesame Street and the Muppets and all those different projects he did. Heck, he made my childhood great here watching that Sesame Street for sure. And that's just them taking that. I'm a little bit disappointed in it, but I'm going to be super excited for, obviously Monsters Inc. Land, but I feel like they could have done something else or just moved it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's okay. They'll do good.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, maybe they could have done Monsters Inc. Land a little bit further back, kept the Muppet Courtyard, and then just put Monsters Inc. Land all the way behind it. A lot of ideas they could have, should have, would have done. But at the end of the day, Disney always said, Disneyland will never be finished as long as there's imagination left. That kind of reminds us that we can't get stuck on things too much. We need to always try to be open to change. And this is, I suppose, no different. But yeah, coming with Monsters Inc., the really exciting thing that caught everyone's attention is going to be the new suspended roller coaster through the Door Factory. No, it's the first suspended coaster for Disney, and I think it's a great idea that they did it they used a suspended coaster for this specific attraction. I think the theming of it is perfect for it. The doors are, of course, suspended, so why wouldn't we be, swinging through the factory? I don't think a lot of people talked about maybe Rock and Roller Coaster maybe becoming a doors coaster. However, now knowing that they're going to do a suspended roller coaster seems so much more appropriate. So I'm kind of glad they decided to go a new direction and do this right. So speaking of Rock and Roller Coaster, on the same day that we found out that indeed Monsters Inc. was replacing Muppet Courtyard, to appease a lot of those Muppets fans, Disney was smart and announced that Muppets is not leaving Hollywood Studios. However, they were moving over to replace Aerosmith over at Rock and Roller Coaster. What's your thoughts on this retheme there, Logan?
I think It's going to be a great ride. And I mean, them losing the licensing rights for Aerosmith in that ride, I think they had to do something. And I think it's smart as they're doing something with Muppets as they just took away Animation Courtyard. And I'm just glad they're doing something else with it instead of just leaving it gone.
Agreed. I think it was the right thing to do. So, no, I'm definitely happy about that. But like you said earlier, I wish they had in the Sunset Showcase building right next to Rock and Roller Coaster, maybe they could have brought Muppet Vision 3D, just put it right in that building and kind of made a new, updated Muppet Courtyard over there. I like speculating on things like that. That would have been a great opportunity. But instead, too late, because we already know that summer of this year, 2025, that Sunset Showcase building, which previously housed the Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy the last few years, is now getting a new show, a new Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After show. I think this is great. The villains, they have not gotten the representation I think that they have the popularity for. And I think it's great. Disney is finally, being receptive to that for, I don't know how many years, 10 years plus. People have been asking Disney for a fifth gate that would be focused, actually 25 years. Never mind. I remember back when I was working there, back in 2000, people talked about wanting to have a fifth gate being focused around villains. So it's not a new idea that fans want to see the villains. And if not a fifth park, I think it's great that they're at least implementing it somewhere in between the Villains Land and Magic Kingdom and this Villains Unfairly Ever After here at Hollywood Studios. The more the better representation there, I say. And then finally, the last one coming to Hollywood Studios in 2020, actually rumored to open in 2026, is a re-theme to the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, to be incorporating the Mandalorian and Grogu into the storyline of that one. I think that one is great. I think the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, that attraction being screen-based as it is, I think it's perfect for being able to re-theme it occasionally to keep it fresh. And Mandalorian and Grogu is obviously an extremely popular property over the last few years. So definitely looking forward to that one coming in. Finally, moving over to Disney's Animal Kingdom. We have an opening date of winter 2025 to retheme the It's Tough to Be a Bug show inside the Tree of Life Theater into a Zootopia show. This is another one I'm really excited about. It's Tough to Be a Bug. It was a cool attraction, and I enjoyed the movie. But I don't know if kids these days really know Tough to Be a Bug. Everybody these days definitely knows Zootopia. And we've talked about for years that Zootopia would be a good fit inside Animal Kingdom. And supposedly they're going to incorporate some kind of conservation message into that show as well. So kind of merging those ideas, I think is very appropriate for Animal Kingdom, and bringing in a more current relevant IP should bring life back to that theater there at Discovery Island. And then next, the big talk about Animal Kingdom coming over the next couple of years is the new Pueblo Esperanza, otherwise known as the Tropical Americas section, which is coming to retheme the old Dino Land area of Animal Kingdom. This one has needed to happen for many, many years, I believe. Dino Land has always been kind of an afterthought, I feel. Hester Chester Dinorama, I think they did as much as they could with the theming, breaking up the concrete in the parking lot, making it look like it was meant to be cracked and broken like that. I'm sure it was fun for some kids who wanted to play those carnival games, but the plans that they have for this area prove what we know all along, is that they really could do better. And definitely looking forward to the 3 attractions that are supposedly coming to this new area. First off, we're going to be able to visit the Casita from the popular movie Encanto. This is going to be a new dark ride, and Disney describes it as when Antonio has just received his special gift, the ability to communicate with animals. We're going to be taken into his new rainforest room for an enchanted ride as we explore the jungle with our friends from Encanto. So Definitely think that's going to be really exciting. Looking forward to what they do there. And then the next one, the Indiana Jones retheme of Dinosaur. This is going to be very similar to Disneyland's version of Indiana Jones and the Forbidden Eye attraction. However, I'm really excited. This is another example where they're not going to just clone what they have over in Disneyland. This is supposedly going to be a brand new storyline. We've been waiting on this for years, knowing that the ride vehicle for Dinosaur is the exact same as the one over in Disneyland for Indiana Jones. The track layout is also very, very similar. It's the one we have here in Disney World is a little bit shorter. It doesn't have the big, huge room that you first drive into. If you've been on Indiana Jones and the Curse of the Forbidden Eye, you'll know when you first drive into that room, you got this suspension bridge that goes across in front of you. We don't have that, unfortunately, here at Disney World. So the ride is a little bit shorter and will be changed up a little bit to accommodate for that. But other than that, the track layout is identical and the ride vehicle is identical. So it's not going to take much for them to turn that into an exciting Indiana Jones attraction. And I think that'll fit in perfectly for the Tropical Americas theme. Next is the third attraction coming to that area. There's going to be a new carousel, not just any carousel, but it's going to be a hand-carved carousel of giant animals. Instead of horses, they're all going to be animals from your favorite Disney stories. So they're going to be, for example, there's going to be Eeyore, Timon, Pumbaa, Abu, Kevin from Up, and many more. Really looking forward to this. At D23 last year at the convention space, we were able to go in and in the Imagineers Pavilion area, they had the Kevin carved carousel ride vehicle. And you can obviously tell they're hand carved, and the way they painted them, they're very rustic. They're definitely, and they look really aged. So they're not just putting in plastic, carousel animals that you see at your local supermarket or something like that. This is going to be so much cooler than that and just aged to fit into the theme of that area. So really looking forward to how they do that entire theme. Just the other day, they closed Hester Chester's Dinorama for the final time. So they are well on their way to realizing that transformation into the tropical Americas at Animal Kingdom. So a lot of great, exciting changes coming to Walt Disney World in 2025. So with that, Logan, what are the 3 upcoming announcements that you're most excited to experience once they're complete, and why?
Yeah, first, most definitely I'm excited for Monsters Inc. Land. That, I think, will be, or I don't know if it's most definitely a land. I think it's more just I don't know, just like an interactive, let's say courtyard.
Mm-hmm. It's being called a land,
Yeah,
but
it's Muppets Courtyard, so let's say Monsters Inc. Courtyard. How about that? And I'm definitely most excited for it because it will give the park a new experience to kind of weave out the crowds from every other ride, because it definitely makes the trip a little not as much fun, as you don't get to ride that many things. You just get there and then everything's 110 minutes. And I feel like definitely new experiences that they're adding excites me, that they are going to be able to kind of do that a little bit, and
yeah.
that'll kind of make the waits a little bit shorter, hopefully, for everything else.
Yeah, traditionally that park has had less rides than most others, so yeah, they definitely need to keep on working there in that direction.
Yeah, and then the second thing I'm excited for is the new Rock and Roller Coaster retheme to the Muppets, and I like that. I love it because I like the Muppets a lot, and I think it will be a great ride. I'm obviously a little bit saddened to hear that it is replacing Animation Courtyard, and obviously hope that they're able to leave some nods back to original Animation Courtyard, and I think they'll do that, as they've done that for some other places, or in some other rides that replaced others and whatever else like that. The last thing I'm excited for is the Spaceship Earth Lounge, and as I talked about before, I think that Spaceship Earth deserves representation throughout Epcot, and I feel like I'm glad that it's finally getting that. Um,
Agreed. Absolutely.
and I just feel like they're going to do good on it, and hopefully they feature some of the original soundtrack, just take out the talking and in actual Spaceship Earth and stuff like that, and I just hope they have some good music, kind of Spaceship Earth themed, whatever else like that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to how they design that lounge. I wonder if I don't know if you've seen videos yet, but on the Disney Treasure, the Tower Suite is called the Tomorrow Tower Suite, which is
Yeah,
themed to Epcot.
yeah, I've seen that. It looks really, really awesome. I hope to someday stay there.
Yeah, absolutely. I won the
Yeah,
lottery, but what
yeah,
is I'm hoping that this lounge is kind of decorated in that same kind of vein. It's got a lot of artwork nodding back to the history of Epcot, the original attraction posters of Living with the Land, World of Motion, World Celebration, Communicore, all of those. Are definitely looking forward to how they design that lounge and how they bring the history of Epcot in a more modern way to experience.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. Moving on to three things I'm most excited about personally. First off is the Cars Off-Road Dune Buggy Rally. Like I said, in November, they confirmed that the ride vehicles are going to be those new trackless off-road dune buggy vehicles. So I think it's awesome that they are, again, not just cloning what they have out in California, because I want to look forward to still going out there and riding that one, but to have something new here and different and in a way a plus up, I think is really exciting that they're taking it seriously. The next thing I'm most looking forward to is the new Pueblo Esperanza section, or the Tropical Americas section of Animal Kingdom. This is an area, like I said, that it has needed a lot of attention for many, many years, and I'm just really excited to see that they're kind of rounding out that park with something other than an afterthought. So now it's going to have 4 really full thought of peripheral lands between Pandora, Africa, Asia, and now tropical Americas. I think it's going to round out that park. The only thing that park still needs is a nighttime show. It's hopefully one day they'll try again with that one. Rivers of Light, I thought was really nice. Actually, I know they can't have fireworks at that park due to the animals, so they relied a lot more on the water fan and projections and the floats that would use GPS coordinates to move through that theater on the water, that aqua theater.
I completely agree with you here when you're saying that, but I think one thing they might be able to do is the kite show that was originally there. I feel like they could utilize that kind of little pond and put
Mm-hmm.
like some light show around there and put a screen up and put up some projections, and there's just some really cool things I feel like they could do with that, and just like put little, like, I feel like in Epcot Forever After or whatever. Sorry, I forgot what the show name for it originally was in Epcot, but they had some of those flying things, like the
Oh, you're
flying
talking.
guns.
Yeah, that was Epcot Forever. Yeah, when it first came out, yeah, they had jet skis that would
Yeah, so
have those kites flying above in the air that had like firework effects that would kind of sparkler off the back of the kites.
yeah, I thought
No,
that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen out of firework shows for Disney.
No, that'd be cool if they brought those kites back. They didn't. Interesting enough, yeah. After Harmonious ended, they brought back Epcot Forever for a short time before Luminous finally debuted, and yeah, those kites were missing when the show came back. I really hope Animal Kingdom gets a nighttime show at some point, but for right now, because that would really help make that park a full day. A lot of people still talk about that being a half day park, but hopefully this new Tropical America section will go a long way in that direction too. But yeah, specifically in that section, I'm looking forward to the Indiana Jones attraction. I love the one out in California, the Disneyland version. Everybody else loves the one out there too. It's definitely a favorite. It's always got a line. It's extremely popular. But out here, again, being the exact same ride system, it's interesting that nobody really talks about it, and it hardly ever has much of a wait. So it's obviously a lost opportunity that of potential that the fact that we know it does, that ride system does well as Indiana Jones, but here it just doesn't. So it's really great that they're taking the notice and fixing that. And then finally, the third thing I'm really looking forward to is Disney Starlight, the Dream the Night Away Magic Kingdom Nighttime Parade. The Magic Kingdom, it's in Disneyland. They've both been known for nighttime parades. As long as, Disneyland's been open, or soon after they had a nighttime parade. It's just been a characteristic of both of those castle parks to have a nighttime parade to close out the evening, in addition to fireworks. But for years, they've just kind of had the fireworks happily ever after, which I love. But we've always had both, nighttime fireworks and a parade. So I think it's really great that we're going back to being able to experience both of those. And it's cool that they're not just bringing back the Main Street Electrical Parade. As much as I love that parade, I think it's great that they're doing something brand new. So definitely was surprised to hear that. I think a lot of fans would have been happy hearing Main Street Electrical Parade was coming back. But I think we're all ecstatic to know that it's something brand new. So can't wait to experience that again, summer of 2025. And speaking of looking forward to 2025, there's a lot of great Disney travel promos that can definitely help get all of you there. First, the featured promo I wanted to talk about is free dining is back. For those of you who don't know, Disney does offer a Disney dining plan for their resort guests. What this allows you to do is there's two different variations or flavors of the Disney dining plan. There is the table service, or just known as the Disney Dining Plan, which gives you a lunch credit, a quick service credit during the day, and they give you a snack credit and then a dinner credit each day or each night of your stay per person. So if you've got 5 people in your group, you're staying 5 nights, then each person gets 10 of each of those credits. A quick service for lunch, a dinner service, table service restaurant, and then also a snack credit for each day, each night that they're staying there. And then there's also a quick service version of that, which gives you 2 quick service credits per day and a snack credit per day. So that way you would have lunch at a quick service, or you'd either breakfast or lunch at a quick service location, and then you'd have dinner at a quick service location, and then you could have a snack, which could be a cookie. All over Walt Disney World, when you go to, for example, the booth at Epcot World Showcase, they've got the little symbol that says Disney Dining Plan, DDP. You'll notice that signifies that they're snack credits, so that you could use your credits for that. And it's really easy to keep track of in the app. It keeps track of each person and how many credits they've used. So if you wanted to have 2 credits for snacks in one day, you can, but you can use them how you want throughout your visit. So, and this is usually a add-on cost, of course, onto your resort fee. So it's really great that they're adding it for free, actually. So in summer of 2025, for most nights from May 27th through June 26th and July 7th through August 6th of 2025, when you purchase a 3-night, 3-day room and park package, you can get the free dining plan. If you're staying at a deluxe resort, you're going to get the free full service table service dining package. And if you're staying at a moderate or a value resort, then you'll get the free quick service dining plan. Again, many of my clients who do this dining plan, who have tried it once, they often rebook it just due to the convenience of it. And then it makes it much simpler to create kind of an all-inclusive experience with your Disney vacation. Next one, don't forget, in 2025, Walt Disney World has already started offering their free water park visit promo for every resort guest. On the day of your check-in, everybody in your party gets a free water park visit, depending on which water park is open. Right now, it happens to be Blizzard Beach, but later on in the spring, I'm sure it'll switch back over to Typhoon Lagoon. So whichever water park is open on the check-in day of your visit, you're going to get a free visit there. I think this is another great opportunity to add a little bit more value to your Walt Disney World vacation. Typically, people might check in and head over to Disney Springs. Now, if you had to compare a Disney Springs evening visit to a water park day, I'm sure a lot of the kids would probably be a lot more excited to visit Typhoon Lagoon. So this is allowing all of the resort guests to be able to do that in 2025. Moving on, some other promos available for everybody in early 2025 on most nights, February 23rd through April 30th, and most Sunday and Thursday nights, January 1st through February 20th. Anybody can save up to 25%. In spring of 2025, for most nights, February 26th through June 30th, guests can save up to $200 per night on a 3-night, 2-day room and ticket package. Then also in spring and summer of 2025, for most days, May 1st through September 25th, for stays 5 nights or more, you can save up to 30%. So again, those are promos for everybody. Moving on to Florida residents, there's already a summer 2025 Florida resident promo. Most days, May 1st through July 31st, as long as you book before February 24th, 2025. So that one, you have to book within the next month. You can save up to 30%. And then moving on to annual pass holders in early 2025, most Sunday through Thursday night stays, January 1st through February 20th. Annual pass holders are able to save 35%. And then there's also a summer 2025 discount for annual pass holders. For most nights, May 1st through July 31st, 2025, they can save up to 40%. So a lot of great discounts available already into summer of 2025. And as always, for any questions about these current promos, please reach out to myself or any of your preferred PS Family Vacations travel agents to discuss the details of not only Disney, but any of our other suppliers like Universal, Royal Caribbean, etc. So we can let us do the research for you and find the right promos for you and for your next trip. And remember, for any bookings more than 31 days out, we only require a $200 refundable deposit for Disney Vacations to secure your resort and room type. So even if there's no promos available for your stay, say you're looking to stay later on next fall or Christmas, it's best to book your resort and room type now that you're looking for. And then our travel agents, we are constantly watching for those new promos when they come out and check in to see if any of our existing bookings qualify for any of those new promos. And then we will just simply call Disney for you on your behalf and apply those new promos and let you know how much money you've saved. So another great reason to book through a travel agent to help simplify your trip. So again, as always, if you don't have an agent yet, please simply visit psfamilyvacations.com where you can see profiles from all of our agents so you can choose which one is perfect for you. All right. And then again, before we wrap up, I want to remind you all, PS You Need a Vacation podcast is proudly sponsored by PS Family Vacations, the dreamers of your next magical getaway. If you'd like to support our content and either not sure where to start planning your own vacation or just don't have the time, please consider benefiting from the experience and enthusiasm of any of the incredible PS Family Vacations travel agents. So to start your Disney, Universal, cruise, all-inclusive resort, or European adventure today, please visit psfamilyvacations.com. Well, that'll do it for today, Logan. I definitely appreciate you joining. And all of our listeners, I hope you all appreciated the content covered today. And if you have any suggestions of any future topics you'd like us to discuss on the podcast, please leave them in the comments below. And next week, we'll continue to introduce more guest agents. Again, Logan, definitely appreciate you joining, and I look forward to you visiting us again on another podcast.
Yeah, it's been great to be here, and it's great to be the first non-agent on the podcast.
Well, like I said, hopefully future travel agent. That definitely puts you into the same club.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It's been great, Greg. Great conversations around here.
And same with you. So, all right. Well, again, thank you everybody again for listening. We hope you all have a great week. Please subscribe and tune in next week to the PS You Need a Vacation podcast. brought to you by PS Family Vacations.